He was the man who electrified the world, yet lived his life in the shadows. Nikola Tesla, a name that glows between myth and science, between isolation and immortality. The man who dreamed of a world powered by invisible forces, who saw energy not just in wires and machines, but in the human soul itself. Tesla was born in 1856 in what is now Croatia, a boy who saw visions of light that others could not. He spoke of flashes, of ideas appearing like lightning in his mind. Those around him saw strangeness. The world would later call it genius. From alternating current to wireless transmission, Tesla's inventions became the nervous system of the modern age. But behind his brilliance was a life of extreme restraint, a deliberate solitude that few could understand. Tesla was not just a scientist, he was a man who waged war against his own instincts. He believed that human desire, especially sexual desire, was both the greatest creative force and the greatest threat to genius. In one of his early interviews, Tesla said, "I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men." To Tesla, intimacy divided focus. He was convinced that a mind dedicated to discovery could not afford to be entangled in emotional or physical desire. He remained celibate his entire life, not out of repression, but out of devotion, to work, to thought, to the unknown. He once told a friend that sexual abstinence was the foundation of all his strength. He saw it as a form of inner conservation, the redirection of biological energy into mental force. He believed that every instinct could be transmuted into creativity if mastered with discipline. Tesla believed that the human body was an engine, one capable of transforming energy in different forms. He wrote that physical desire, if left uncontrolled, could drain the life force that the brain needs for invention. To him, chastity was not moral, it was mechanical. It was about efficiency, conservation, mastery. In this, Tesla anticipated what Sigmund Freud would later call sublimation, the redirection of instinctual energy into higher creative or intellectual pursuits. Tesla did not have Freud's terminology, but he lived the theory. He turned his own vitality into voltage, his longing into light. But no transformation comes without loss. Tesla's devotion to his ideals left him profoundly isolated. He often spoke with melancholy about women, saying that his admiration for them had turned into disappointment. In his 1926 Collier's interview, he said that women of the modern age had become too dominant, and that the era of true feminine grace was ending. Yet, beneath those words, one feels something deeper, the pain of a man who distanced himself too far from the warmth of life. He once admitted, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman, and she loved me." To him, that single pigeon became a symbol of purity, of affection without temptation. In his final years, Tesla lived alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker hotel. He was penniless, but not defeated. His notebooks were filled with dreams of new inventions, machines to harness cosmic energy, to communicate with distant worlds. He died in 1943 at the age of 86, alone yet unbroken. To his last breath, he believed that the same life force that animates the body could illuminate the mind, that human passion, when controlled, could become a form of divine power. Nikola Tesla's life was both a triumph and a tragedy. A man who mastered the forces of nature, yet struggled to master his own solitude. He proved that energy, whether electrical or emotional, is never destroyed, it only changes form. In his silence, he found light, and in his abstinence, he discovered power. Tesla gave the world alternating current, the induction motor, and the foundation for wireless technology, inventions that shaped the very fabric of modern civilization. But behind every discovery was the same principle he applied to himself, that energy, when disciplined, can transcend its origin and become creation itself. He did not merely invent machines, he embodied the truth that mastery of the self is the source of all lasting power,